This video is presented by Western and Southern Financial Group, a game plan for your financial future. Every great team starts with a strong foundation, and your future should too. With life insurance built like a championship roster, Western and Southern helps protect what matters most so you can focus on winning today while planning for tomorrow. Whether you're just starting out your journey, building your dynasty, or ready to retire like a champion, Western and Southern has the right play for your life stage. Visit westernsouthern.com to get your free life insurance quote today. Western and Southern, built to win. Jags and Broncos.
Fun one.
Another fun one. Jacksonville, who, baby, don't count them out of the 1 seed yet, right? They can still get the 1 seed even though the Patriots won.
I think they would need another Bronco loss and maybe another Patriot.
I think they'd need another Patriots loss.
Because what are the Patriots are now 12-3, right?
But they're still in it.
I think the Jags somehow would win a three-way tie there. Still how that would work.
34-20. They take down Denver in Denver. Incredibly impressive. Their top 5 graded players: wide receiver Parker Washington with a 90.7, cornerback Montaric Brown an 84.1, edge rusher Trayvon Walker a 75.1, offensive tackle Cole Van Lannen. How good has Cole Van Lannen been over the last month? Unbelievable. Offensive tackle Anton Harrison rounding things out with a 73.4 or a 73.3. Excuse me. Trevor Lawrence in this game an 81.8. On Denver side, linebacker Jonah Ellis with a 91.7. Defensive tackle DJ Jones an 85.2. Linebacker Alex Singleton an 82.6. Offensive tackle Garrett Bowles with an 81.5. And then on defensive tackle John Franklin Meyer with an 81.1. Bo Nix, 55.0 overall grade in this game. Stats told the story, Dalton.
Much like I talked about in the last game with Bryce Young against the Bucs, I think the first thing you really worry about is this Denver Broncos pass rush that leads the league in sacks, and then they can just get after you in so many different directions. And early in this game, it looked a bit like they were winning that battle, and Trevor Lawrence was rattled a bit. But I'll tell you what, against the blitz, Trevor Lawrence was just outstanding in this game, whether that was the Broncos' standard 5-man rush, whether it was the linebackers, Greenlaw and Singleton coming from every different direction. It was Jaquan McMillan off the slot at certain times. There was stunts left and right. He was adjusting protections pre-snap, and as the game went on, he got more and more comfortable. He sped up the process, and he dealt with pressure in a way that, honestly, against a team like this, I'm not sure I've ever seen him do it. We, over the last month, have seen Trevor Lawrence do some things that we've never seen him do in the NFL, right? And I think arguably the biggest flaw for him through the first 4 years of his career was these moments and dealing with high pressure situations in the pocket and how to respond and then forcing passes downfield, right? He looks like he has this calmness to him, and he has all of the answers right now against pressure, and he needed to have them in this game against this Broncos pass rush. Against the blitz, 79.1 passing grade, 13 for 16, 192 yards, 2 touchdowns. But in the way that veteran quarterbacks beat the blitz, only a 6.3-yard average depth of target, working to the sticks, working to the open man underneath, and a 2.43-second average time to throw, processing it pre-snap, having a plan, knowing where he wants to go with the football. This was the most veteran. If the last 3 games were the highest ceiling Trevor Lawrence we've seen, like, oh, there's the chosen one guy, number 1 overall pick from Clemson, this, I think, was the most veteran performance that Trevor Lawrence has put up in his career. Having pre-snap answers, knowing where the pressure is coming from, adjusting protections, and getting the football to the right place. This guy playing the way he's played the last month, This is as good a Super Bowl contender as we have in the AFC, with it as wide open as it is. It's the same thing I said about Drake May and the Patriots. This team's got every bit of shot that they do. If Trevor Lawrence plays the way he's played this last month, they're absolutely a Super Bowl contender.
AFC's wide open. AFC is wide open. If you told me the Jags are representing this conference in the Super Bowl, okay, I believe you.
They got the hottest quarterback.
Right.
Isn't that half the battle?
Yeah.
I mean, and then their defense pitched, gave up 3 points in the second half of this game?
Yeah.
Liam Cohen's got a good team, man.
They really put Bo Nix in a blender in that fourth quarter. Now, to Nix's credit, he didn't have any turnover-worthy plays until that fourth quarter. Like, late in the fourth quarter when he kind of, like, had to have it, and it was situations where it's like, all right, well, you've just got to throw it up there because you got to make something happen, because they were down 17 at one point, and then they were down 14 after they kicked the field goal. 2 turnover-worthy plays in the fourth quarter when he really had to press. I didn't love their offensive approach on those throws. It felt like they were calling pretty high difficulty level of throws anyways. Like, hey, let me get you single coverage on the outside and let me throw a back shoulder ball where you're fully covered. Like, yeah, of course, you've got to be able to throw and complete some difficult passes and catches to come away with victories in this league. But, geez, like we can't get anything a little bit easier on that gotta-have-it situation. So he made it tough for him, so I don't even really totally blame Nix for that one. But Trevor Lawrence, he was the better quarterback. He just played incredibly well. How about Parker Washington, too? My most impressive. 10 targets, 6 catches, 145 yards, a touchdown, 90.3 receiving grade. He was awesome. He's part of what makes him and Jacoby Myers, and obviously, like, it's funny to go back to the beginning of the year when this team obviously had Travis Hunter, and they don't now. But it felt like they were still figuring it out with Travis Hunter, like what they really wanted to do with him. They leaned on Brian Thomas Jr. so much. And just being honest, he was not giving him a very high return on investment at the beginning of the year. Dropping passes, was not as explosive as he was the previous season. There was a lot of stuff where he was not giving them that wide receiver one ability like they really needed him to. And now they're in a situation where Brian Thomas Jr. is back, healthy, but they've traded for Jacoby Myers. Brenton Strange is back and healthy. Parker Washington's been unbelievable. And now all of a sudden, Brian Thomas Jr. doesn't have to be this wide receiver one. He's kind of like a vertical explosive threat for them. But if he doesn't go off, they could still win. And it did not feel like that was the case with this team through the first 6 weeks of the season. It basically felt like if he wasn't going off, they weren't going to win. And I just love how diverse and a well-oiled, efficient machine this offense is right now. And I think that Trevor Lawrence is seeing things really well. Liam Cohen very clearly game planning things up very well. So it's a lot of fun to watch this Jags team.
No, absolutely. And they have so many, and you just mentioned it, I think you said the right thing. They have so many different reasons they can win. It's Trevor Lawrence with his arm. It's ETN in the offensive line in the ground game. It's Myers. It's Brenton Strange at tight end. It's Brian Thomas, Parker Washington. Then this defense. I can go through a million guys, and you mentioned it with the fourth quarter with Bo Nix. This is not a team, this Jacksonville team, that you want to be in obvious passing situations against because their defense and their coverage schemes are so fluid all the time. Two guys, again, that stick out to me, Andrew Wingard and Antonio Johnson, both at safety. They're just all over the place. And those two guys, to me, kind of dictate how everything rotates in this defense, and you never know what they're going to be in pre-snap. This is a real problem of a defense to deal with, especially in pass defense. If you're going to beat this team right now the way Lawrence is playing, you got to be more physical than them, and you better find a way to rattle Lawrence. But right now, he's finding the answers for it. Guy I want to shout out to on the offensive line, you mentioned Cole Van Lannen. The value that he's brought to this team, despite some of their offensive line injuries, Trevor, he has started a game at 4 different positions.
I know.
Both guard and both tackle spots, and he's played well at all of them. And he's had to play left tackle the last 4 weeks with Walker Little hurt. Check this out. Last 4 weeks, an 86 PFF grade for Cole Van Lannen. You want the tackles in front of him? This is 5th in the NFL. Here's the 4 tackles in front of this guy. Tristan Wirfs, Andrew Thomas, Trent Williams, Garrett Bowles. That's how good Cole Van Lannen's been at playing left tackle, and then he's really been solid playing I don't know where their offensive line would be without him, but he's on a heater right now playing the best football of his career. And when you have offensive line injuries, we've seen it with several teams, a lot of times you can't overcome those. The Jags have been able to, and he's been the biggest reason. I mean, starting at 4 different spots and then down the stretch trying to win a division, playing left tackle for this team.
Right.
And in this game against one of the hardest teams to block, and he puts up a top 5 graded performance in this. I mean, great stuff from him, man. Again, there's just – you could list off a million reasons right now that the Jacksonville Jaguars are really good, and I think that might be what makes them maybe they're certainly among the most dangerous teams. Right now, they might be the most dangerous team in the AFC because you really look at them up and down. If Lawrence is playing like this, they don't have a ton of flaws. They're just really, really darn good all the way around.
And I think that they don't have a ton of flaws, not because they're the most talented at every single area, but because they're extremely well coached. On both sides of the ball, clearly the position coaches are able to coach up exactly what the overall offensive mind or defensive mind wants to do.
They better hope they don't lose Anthony Campanile this offseason.
Well, they got a chance to lose a couple of these coaches. When you play well, this is what happens. And I think that they've got a couple of coaches on their roster that are going to get looked at for either head coach or coordinator position upgrades in the next couple of months. But as of right now, man, Jags are hot.
This is a wagon.
And this is
They're
a fun
really good.
team. I wouldn't want to play Jacksonville right now, I'll tell you that.
Everyone's got takes. Numbers have truth. And the truth is, most people are betting with emotion. Sportsbooks feed on it. TikTok gurus sell it. The hype machine runs on it. That's how you lose. PFF is different. You're betting with winning data. The same data trusted by all 32 NFL teams and the sharpest minds in the game. PFF betting tools take every prop, every matchup, every angle, and run them through our custom models. Built on the best football data in the world. What comes back is your edge. Simple, sharp, and built to win. Want to go deeper? PFF puts a pro-level analytics department in your hands, giving you the same insights teams use to find every advantage. Build your game plan with matchup analysis. Project every snap, every matchup, and every edge before kickoff. Because the smartest plays start long before Sunday. Hit rates show how a player performs against their prop and against defenses built the same way. It's the data that gives you real confidence in every pick. Next, Key Insights translates PFF data into the story behind every matchup, giving you the why that powers your bets. From coverage schemes to defensive looks, it's the context that turns raw numbers into winning decisions. When you're ready to take action, filter through every prop on the market and focus on the opportunities that matter, by game, matchup, or value. Then, shop for the best available line in your area and tap your book of choice to place the bet instantly. Everyone's got takes, but now you've got truth. Bet with data, win with PFF.